Hey everyone! Recently I made a video where I showed all the winners of the ride creation contests we did in 2019, and in this video I want to show you all the winners of the year after that, 2020. Now we had some really fun contests in 2020. We also had some exciting rule changes which led to the creation of even nicer maps. The quality in this year was really went through the roof. Anyway, I'll just start with the first contest, the one from January, and I'll just go through all the years showing all the winners of every round. Alright, we started off the year with a Ferris wheel contest. Now players could make any kind of Ferris wheel, it didn't necessarily have to be a circular one, and Skifa came up with this beautiful creation. It's just a wonderful Ferris wheel. I just love the construction, the colors are also great, and it just sits in this park in a really nice way. The park itself also looks brilliant, kind of like a Arabic style structure. Not a theme you see done very often on our Discord. I think Skifa executed it in a wonderful way. Yeah, this is just a brilliant Ferris wheel. I actually love the usage of this sun here with the eye that sometimes opens up and looks around. It's not an object you see very often, but I think it works really well here. And I just love this steampunky vibe here as well. Lots of track texture here, and these supports, I think they look amazing. And it's really wonderfully integrated into this queue as well. So yeah, just not too big, this entry, but yeah, it's just packed with nice little details, beautiful layering, just very well done. Okay, our second contest of the year was the Eurofighter contest. Now one rule we had in this contest was that all the Eurofighters that were built actually had to have a beyond vertical drop, which was a requirement that actually gave the necessity to make the rides pretty tall. But yeah, there were lots of beautiful entries in this round. People really did a nice job at creating these Eurofighters. Yeah, and Meket definitely did an amazing job here. Yeah, I also love the usage of this blacktile palette. I believe this was one of the first entries that actually used the blacktile palette. Not really sure, but it definitely makes this map stand out from other maps. Yeah, it was just such a cool find back then. So basically, people took a palette and then they changed the purple color into the tile or into the color of the void, and that actually allowed people to just paint the land black and just give the map an irregular size. Yeah, like I said, just a wonderful map from Meket. This coaster is just sits in the center of this map really nicely. It's integrated into all the scenery here very nicely. And yeah, these buildings, they also look really good. It's a lot of Wacky Worlds scenery or Time Twister. I think Meket managed to create some amazing buildings with these pieces. Okay, this was our ride recreation contest. So in this round, all the players had to recreate an existing ride, a ride that had existed in the past. Well, you could probably recognize this ride. This one was made by Mamarias, and it's of course the Big Apple coaster that's in Las Vegas. It's actually a coaster with quite a bad reputation because it's quite uncomfortable to ride. But Mamarias did an absolutely amazing job recreating it. And yeah, while it was not required to also recreate the surroundings, the coaster could be in a completely different environment. Mamarias actually also completely recreated the hotel. And I have to say, these buildings, they look incredible. This is just so good looking, these structures here in the middle. But also this facade here on the side. This just looks very beautiful. Mamarias really outdid himself here. And yeah, I believe this is one of the highest scores ever achieved in one of the contests. Maybe this was even the highest. I'm not really sure. But yeah, just a wonderful park from Mamarias. I forgot to mention it in the previous video, I believe, but you can download all these entries from all our previous contests from my Discord server. The link to my Discord server can be found in the video description, and Discord is completely free. Alright, this was our ice cream stall / RMC contest. So basically it was kind of a troll contest, well the rules were. So I made it look like players actually had to create an ice cream stall, but one of their rules was that they also had to make an RMC, which was of course the the main thing they had to build in their park. I believe it was something we did for April's Fools. But yeah, we got some really beautiful RMC coasters in this round. It was actually one of the rounds with the most entries. So this was still before the new RMC track was in the game. So here players actually had to basically combine tracks with wooden supports in order to make it look like an actual RMC track. But yeah, beautiful entries here, some great support work. Again, footers. Also love how Ayrton used the red rocks here. Just a beautiful palette, and I also love the color of the water that he used here. Again, I believe this round actually got players using some new tricks for their supports. You could see a lot of progress along all these rounds in how players would do their supports. I think this entry also served as an example to many entries that were to come later. Yeah, beautiful structure here for these inversions, but also for the rest of the track. This is incredible, and also again beautiful buildings throughout this round as well. You can also see some buildings here that were inspired by structures made by Meket in previous rounds, so-called Meket's trade post. Yeah, really fun entry, and just beautifully done by Ayrton. Alright, later on in the year we did a second River Rapids contest. So we once started with the River Rapids contest in the first contest we ever did, and by this point I thought it was time to actually try a River Rapids contest again to see how much players had improved. And this is so much better than all the entries we saw in the first River Rapids contest, but of course lots of new techniques have been developed, and players really put in a lot more time and effort in order to get a high score. Now this was the entry from Jens J. He made this beautiful creepy entry, again with a really nice looking palette with this greenish water, a lot of browns and grays, and just great colors to set the mood in this spooky park. Also a chicken here for some reason. And of course this wonderful Grim Reaper here in the corner of the park. I love how he actually used these trains to make the teeth of this Grim Reaper. This is just amazing work. Probably one of the best sculptures we have seen on this server so far. Again, also the River Rapids themselves. Just a great ride. I love how it just travels through the park, and it's definitely the center point of attention here. But yeah, just a wonderful park, and again it shows how nice of an atmosphere you can actually create with these custom palettes. Okay, here's Meket's entry for the Morgan Hypercoaster contest. Morgan Hypercoaster are one of my favorite coaster types to actually create in this game. And we saw some really great support work from people in this round. Let's see. This still uses the mini suspended coaster track. I believe later in the year we actually got the what's it called? The single rail coaster track. But yeah, that was later on. Maybe it was even the next year. I'm not completely sure again. But yeah, again, just wonderful support work here from Meket. These supports are great. The layout of the coaster also very nice. Also very nice fencing around the coaster. And again, Meket was just so good at the game in this year. When Meket entered one of these contests, you would always know he would get a good score. Meket had a great building style in this game. Also a really nice log flume in this round with a dual loading station. That's something not something you would see very often. Yeah, also a nice other woody in this park. But yeah, this Morgan Hypercoaster. I mean, it doesn't have the most spectacular layout, but these coasters never do. But Meckett just executed it in such a wonderful way. Yeah, Meckett just did everything right, I believe. Also some funny scenes here in other places in the park, like this UFO here in the parking lot. It's just such a joy to rewatch these old entries. Great work from Meckett. Hey, this was the Bobsleigh coaster contest. Now this round had some special rules. I believe people actually had to include a building from the Swag Shack and also something from Mummy's Minis. Basically, it was a channel which displayed all kinds of little tricks that people can use, or little decorations that people can use in the park or different buildings. That rule actually pissed off a few people a lot. But yeah, overall, the entries that we got from people were just wonderful. And this round actually also saw Robbie Hood, the maker of this park, introduce some new techniques. Basically, it's these techniques consist of basically placing down diagonal track pieces, but just doing it in such a way in the tile inspector that they're only visible from one side. Now, placing these track pieces down in a nice way is already difficult enough, but Robbie Hood just did an incredible job here by creating this wonderful text here and also these wonderful decorations. I mean, this looks amazing. Like I said, you can only see them from one angle. From this angle, they're just completely invisible. So it's just a wonderful trick that really made its debut in this round. And after this round, we would see it a lot more in other entries. It's a really useful trick. But yeah, other than that, just also a wonderful bobsleigh coaster here. Because that was what it was about in this round. Wonderfully decorated in this kind of like an Hawaiian style. Looks like there's lava traveling down here. Probably quite a dangerous location for a park. And also this ride was hilarious because sometimes guests would just drop down here like they would be sacrificed here in the lava. Sacrificial hike path. But yeah, just a wonderful entry from Robbie Hood with some wonderful new techniques developed in this round. Alright, this was the Scenario Coaster Improvement Contest. So this was kind of a special round because players here could actually, they had to choose a scenario and then they actually had to improve the coasters that were or one of the coasters in the scenario. I believe this was Good Night Park, which had a pair of dueling reverser coasters, and Ayrton and Mamarias turned it into a dueling RMC. Now, I actually heard that right. There were actually 2 players who worked in this round. This was the first round where players were allowed to team up with each other, and this was something that we kept for all the ride creation contests after this. I think it was an amazing rule change that we allowed this, because the quality of parks where people team up is just amazing, and also allowed more players who normally wouldn't have that much time to actually also join in these contests. And also it did reduce the number of entries we got somewhat, but it did really crank up the quality. So I think this was a great rule change. Well, just again a wonderful RMC here. Again, still with the old way of doing these RMCs, so with a combination of wooden coaster track and other steel track on top. Right, just a wonderful support work from Ayrton and Mamarias. These buildings also amazing, especially this big building over here. And you could see Mamarias his work here with all these dragons flying around. So yeah, this was just a crazy, crazy, incredible entry. Yeah, this got quite a high score, understandably. Just so much work, so much effort went into this, and it just looks amazing. Okay, here's the entry from Left-Handed Coffee Mug and Zarathustra. This was in the Switchback coaster contest. So basically, players in this round had to create a coaster that at some point in the track switched direction and went along a different part of the track. So basically, I believe the station is over here. Actually, this is like one of those Mobius coaster tracks. So basically, a train goes around the track, and then at some point it reverses, and then it does another lap of the track in the other direction. Wait, this was quite entry, quite full of little hacks. Yeah, it's just really fun to follow one of these trains through the layout, and also to watch them race against each other. Now you could also see some vehicle hacks being done here. You can see that this, for example, these trains here are a mixture between horses and some of these stagecoaches. So yeah, that was something which back then still wasn't done that often because it was really tricky. But later on you could see it in more and more parks when plugins were introduced to the game. Again, wonderful buildings in this park. But of course, this Switchback coaster really was a joy to see. Alright, this was the Pier coaster contest. It was the entry from Dark Oro and Jens J. In this contest, all the players had to make a coaster that was situated on a pier. The coaster actually had to be compact and had to be fully over the pier. Maybe it could extend a little bit over it, but it had to be mostly on top of a pier. I believe this was their rendition of Vekoma Stingray roller coaster. So it's a flying coaster model. I believe only one of them was built, a really compact model. Yeah, I think they did an amazing job at recreating this coaster type. It's nice and compact, and I think it's the perfect choice for a coaster to fit on a pier. I also love these propellers that they made using these multi-dimension coaster cars. Quite fun to watch, and it's actually quite believable. I actually used this a few times myself later on when I wanted to make helicopters. So yeah, just such a fun little trick to see. Buildings also very nice. They do look a little bit top heavy, but yeah, I guess it does fit this fantasy style of building. And these clouds also look quite fun. Also some other nice rides on this pier as well. It just gives that really nice arcade feel to it. So yeah, it's a wonderful entry from Dark Oro and Jens J. Also love this little decoration here on the side. Okay, here's the entry for the log flume contest from Scorpion. Now you might be wondering where is the log flume? Well, yeah, Scorpion actually built a lot of it inside this big building here. I will show that part in a bit, but first want to give some appreciation to this beautiful facade here. The front of these buildings just look so incredible. This is wonderful work. Now here also there's a bit of an outside section for the log flume with the last big drop. Yeah, the landscaping here also incredible. Love this canyon style here. You can see that all the visible parts of it have been decorated nicely. And just as in most real parks, the part of the building that's not actually visible from anywhere will just be a plain black roof. You can see some air conditioning ducts, etc. Now then, if we use the cutaway view, you can see a lot of decorated areas here inside for this log flume. So all these fossils, crystals, yeah, also some other scenes. You can see some skulls here with text "keep out." A beautiful queue here as well, using all these fences here. I believe it's done with a mini golf track. Yeah, the queue also beautifully decorated. So this was just such a wonderful entry, and this shows really well how well some players made use of the cutaway view, which is I think it's one of the best features that OpenRCT2 offers for the game. Alright, and here's the winner for the multi-dimension coaster contest. This was the entry from Swagtitties and Ayrton. Again, a beautiful multi-dimension coaster. This was actually a launched one. Don't believe that exists yet in the world, but yeah, you've seen it the first time on our Discord. Yeah, just a beautiful coaster layout. Not the most conventional, but it does use all the elements that you would expect on one of these coaster types. Just inside, outside Raven turns, some nice rolls as well. Yeah, and again, they just did an incredible job also at these supports. Especially love, for example, this little piece of track here, which looks like it's holding up like it's really supporting this. It's being supported by this tower here. The support work in this entry just looks really nice. Actually uses a lot of diagonal track as well. Must have been quite the brain teaser to actually create all these supports. Must have been quite difficult to do this. But yeah, again, they just did an incredible job at these supports. Probably some of the best support work I've seen in one of these contests. Again, also beautiful surroundings, beautiful buildings in this park. Lots of beautiful decorations as well. Also some beautiful signs with some of these dolphin cars in front of it. Some orca swimming around here. Yeah, some beautiful underwater decorations as well. Here you can see a little trick that you could also see more often this year. So basically someone found a trick where if you let some coaster cars through a hardline twisted track, then they would actually turn into little green squares. And they are a great way to represent fish underwater, for example. I made a tutorial on this. I believe it's called something like the green square trick. It's just a wonderful trick to use in your park. Yeah, also a beautiful wooden coaster here. Beautiful other rides. So yeah, definitely a worthy winner for this round. Now, as you could see in this video, the quality for these contests just went up enormously this year, and in the current year 2021, the quality just went up even more in some rounds. But yeah, I'm saving the 2021 video for when the year actually ends, so you'll have to wait a bit for that. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching all the winners of these contests. Now, you can also join these contests yourself. It doesn't really matter if you're not as skilled as these players yet. These players also started somewhere, and really, there's no shame in not reaching top 10 or something. So yeah, if you want to join, just join my Discord contest. We have new contests every month, and yeah, everybody can join. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching all the winners of these rounds. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like. I'll see you again in the next video. See you later.